and welcome to Champs for Christ, the annual inter-church Sunday school competitions organized by Ymca Secunderabad in partnership with over 30 laymen and women from across churches and denominations in Hyderabad. So why do we do Champs for Christ? Why? What is the motivation? You surely must have heard about the 414 window. That was an outcome of an elaborate survey done across the world among Christians living in the world today. The survey fundamentally asked one simple question: at what age did you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior? The answer was an amazing 72% of Christians living in the world today accepted Christ between the ages of 4 to 14. Another 18% accepted Christ in their youth, and just a mere 10% accepted Christ when they were beyond 30 years of age. You see, only 10% accepted Christ when they were adults. So tell me again, why do we do so many revival meetings and mass crusades targeted at 10% when we should really be targeting children? Did you know that out of any church's annual budget, the percentage of money allocated to Sunday school ministry is just a mere 5%? In other words, 5% of the budget is yielding 72% of harvest in children. And yet we spend so much of money on adult ministries and revival meetings. Why? Look at the European churches, for instance. They are empty because they ignored children's ministries. And so we thought we should change that. We should invest in children. Investing in children is ensuring the future of our church. And that's our primary motivation, why we do Champs for Christ. A few other compelling reasons why you should partner in the children's ministries. Over 20 years ago, Ymca Secunderabad, under the leadership of Mr. David Raj, used to conduct the Ymca competitions. Those competitions benefited me and a ton of other children, well, they're 40 plus right now, in multiple ways. You see, I benefited in about 5 or 6 ways. Let me tell you how. Most of my church friends from across churches in Hyderabad, Secunderabad, I met for the very first time at the Ymca competitions. In fact, we're all still close friends today. I was an introvert, I still am. But these Ymca competitions helped me get over my fear of public speaking, competing in front of so many people and excelling. Today they have to fight to literally take the mic away from me. You learn to handle success and failures in these competitions. Today's job interviews ask you about your failures more than your successes, because if you've never tried, you've never failed. And if you've never failed, they don't want you. It helped me lead volunteers, the highest form of leadership. Peter Drucker said the highest form of leadership is the ability to lead volunteers. Why? Because leadership in a company or a corporate office is easy. Your employees listen to you. You always pay them and do their year-end annual appraisals. So naturally they will listen to you. But if you have the ability to lead volunteers who don't get paid by you, now you're playing with the big boys. You are a true leader. These competitions taught me you never compete with anybody else. You always compete with yourself. It gave me that fighting spirit to do better each time. And of course, there were other side effects in that, yes, I did well in my studies, in my career as well, because it taught me to be creative, think out of the box, think on your feet, and a whole lot of other things. So a big thank you to Ymca Secunderabad, to Mr. David Raj, for his investment into our lives 25 years ago, for creating these Sunday school competitions and investing in us again. Lastly, why do we do these competitions? Well, this is the transformer bug in me speaking. You see, to change a nation or impact a nation, you need to take what is called the 7 mountains. Number 1, the mountain of government, where evil is either restrained or endorsed. Number 2, the mountain of arts and entertainment, where values or virtues are either celebrated or distorted. Number 3, the mountain of education, where truth or lies about God and His creation are taught. Number 4, the mountain of family, where either blessings or curses are passed on to successive generations. Number 5, the mountain of media, where information is interpreted through the lens of good and evil. Number 6, the mountain of religion, where people worship God in spirit and in truth, or settle for a religious ritual. Number 7, and the most important mountain, the mountain of business that fuels and funds all other mountains, where people build for the glory of God or to the glory of man. Today, as Christians, we have encouraged our children to only study, and get into safe professions. Beta, don't get into politics, don't get into arts and entertainment, don't get into business, it's too tough, too corrupt. Just become a doctor or an engineer. By doing so, we have sold certain professions or mountains to the devil. I repeat, the church has stayed away from politics, business, arts, media, and entertainment, and hence lost its relevance and influence in this world. We must encourage our children to be the salt and light of the earth and reclaim these 7 mountains. Encourage them to become filmmakers, actors, politicians, industrialists. Only and only then will India and our churches be transformed for His glory. At the cost of repetition, investing in children in programs like the Sunday School, Children's Camps, or Champs for Christ is ensuring the future of the church and will bring true transformation in this great country called India. Jai Yeshu Masih and Jai Bharat.